Hey, what is going on? We are back today. Two videos in 2 days. Probably the quickest I've ever had a turnaround on videos. Anyway, we are going to cover bubble sort because in our previous video, we explained what bubble sort is. There's one thing I realized I forgot to do in that video. I had to redo it and then I redid it and I forgot to say what the runtime was. So if you came from that video or want to watch that video and skip to the end, you can do whatever you want. The worst case of that algorithm is n squared. So it is a bad performing algorithm. Once you have millions and millions of pieces of data, whatever you want to use, n squared, not the way you want to go. But anyway, we're going to cover bubble sort here in C++, our first video with the coding languages. So if we remember back what we covered, the little pseudocode of bubble sort, pretty simple, straightforward. We can actually just take that and apply it right to the code. Obviously, there's going to be minor differences in the languages because, syntax and such. But pretty much, you don't have to do anything else. So we're going to jump right into it without wasting any more time. So we're going to be in here inside of Visual Studios. I need to include some things because we need to be able to read files. Fstream. Then I'm also going to need a vector because I'm going to use that instead of an array. I don't feel like creating dynamic or arrays or anything like that. Just keep it simple. We can cover that in another video. So we got IOStream, which is always included when you create your program. You got fstream, read the file, a vector, which includes your vectors, and then string, which you can access string functions and such. So like with all these videos coming forward, we're always going to have a read file function because I have a file that has 10 random numbers in it, all unique, and that file is going to be used across all my programs for whatever set algorithm we cover. That way it makes it a lot easier instead of having to create an array inside of each project. So let's go. We need a function. First, let me write out everything that we need so we kind of get an idea. So we're going to need a vector, which is going to hold ints because that is what's inside my files. We'll just name that nums. And then we're going to need to be able to read the file. We're going to pass in nums as well. And then I'm going to create this kind of utility function to print before and after what the array holds. I don't know why I'm not putting semicolons at the end. This is not Python. This is C++. So we can do something, cout, and this is where we're going to start the bubble sort. And then we can just pass in that nums array to the bubble sort function once we create it. The red squiggly lines mean that nothing exists yet, so it has no idea what I'm talking about. And then we can just say cout done. And then we can just go ahead and print numbers back out because then it should be ordered. So we have refile, print, and bubble sort. It's only 4 functions we need. Or 3, sorry. So let's go with, we're not returning anything in any of these functions, so we can say void read file. And then this is where it takes in a vector, int, and then pass it by reference. Need the and sign in front of that. We can go ahead and open this up. So then we need to create ifstream. This is what's going to hold the file, and then we have a string, which is going to be the line that we read in. So now we go file.open, and then I already have the path of the file I'm going to use here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So as you can see, 10 random numbers. And then we say if file.isOpen, then we can read the file because now we know that it is open. So we say get line, which comes in from the string library file, and then we pass in that line we created up there at the string. And then we can say for our vectors num.push back, and then this is where we have to convert the string to an integer, which then we have to convert it to a C string. Or order for it to work properly, otherwise it's not going to work. We go ahead and, oh, I don't know why I try to run it, because we have undefined things. But that should be all for the read file. As you can see, file open. Then we check if it's open, then if it's open, then we read in a line, and then we take that line and push it to this nums, and then nums comes back, and now we jump into print. We're going to say void print, and then this is where I just simply loop through this nums array. Doesn't have to be passed by reference, be passed by value, because all we're doing is just outputting it. No changes need to be made. So then we say I is less than nums dot size. We say I plus plus. Go ahead and open that. See out nums, and then we're gonna make a little space there. And then outside of the loop, we're gonna say see out inline. So I'm gonna comment out this bubble sort really quickly, and we're gonna run it, see what happens. All right, so we have our numbers coming through. Obviously, they're not sorted yet, which is what we're going to create right now. So void, not returning anything, bubble sort, and then we need to pass in our vector again by reference. We need our ampersand. That's all we need. So then going back to our pseudocode, we have the temp that we need. So there's int temp, doesn't have to be declared to anything. Then this is our outer loop in I. See, nums.size, I plus plus. Then we say, here's our inside loop. This is where j is. Where j is equal to I plus 1. J is less than nums.size. Go ahead and increment it. And then inside of this block, this is where we make the swap. So we say if nums I is greater than nums j, we go ahead and set temp equal to nums I. Then nums I will be now equal to nums j. And then we go ahead and set nums j equal to temp. That should be to it. Let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. 45821 bubble sort done. 12458. So I realized I checked something before. I did have 10 numbers in this file. I never put them back, so now we got only 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 10 numbers back in so we can. I mean, nothing should change, but be back in a quick second. All right, now that I added those numbers in, go ahead and run it again. There we go. 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 7, 3, 6, 1 through 10. There is bubble sort. Just a small function right there. Like I said, pretty easy to write, quick, simple. But that's also why they say really not to use it, just because of the simplicity. And then these 2 loops make it n squared. There is a way you can kind of speed it up to maybe your best case to n which you can add a swapped variable. And then inside of this loop, we can say end swapped. And then we set it back equal to 1 if we make the swap. So that way, if it's been swapped, then we can jump in here, otherwise not. So I mean, it really doesn't make a difference with 10 numbers. You can still still get the same result, but this will make a difference if there's millions of numbers in said file. So that is all the bubble sort in C++. Stay tuned for the next language. No clue what I'm going to go with yet, but make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're interested. And as always, thank you for tuning in and watching. See you next time.